Dear children, praise the Lord. Welcome to the class, children. How are you all? Always humble, children, because Lord raised the people, those who are humble. We are learning Geography, Unit 5. Let us continue the same topic this class also. Before that, have a recall of what we have learned so far. What we are learning about? We are learning about hazards. What's a hazard? Hazard is an event which is a tragic event which will cause damage to life and property. Previous class we learned hazards in India. First we saw earthquake. What are the causes of earthquake and its effects? We saw briefly in the class. Then we learned about floods, causes and effects of floods. Also we learned, next what we learned? We learned a cyclonic storm which also causes damage to life and property of the people, and now we are enjoying the cyclonic storm. And drought, just opposite to flood, a shortage of water. What are the causes and effects? That also we learned. Next we learned about landslides which are often happening in the mountainous regions, and remaining hazards which are happening in India we are going to see in this class. Another hazard which happened in India is tsunami, which is familiar to all of you. Tsunami is a Japanese word derived from two Japanese words. Su, T is silent, mean harbor, and tsunami mean waves. So tsunami meaning harbor waves. What happened when tsunami occurred? It's huge ocean waves caused by earthquake, landslide or volcanic eruption which occur under the ocean surface. In India, on 2004, December 26, most of us don't have forget that event. It is a very tragic event in India, and 9.1 magnitude of earthquake occurred in Indonesian island of Sumatra that resulted in the tsunami. Resulted as tsunami in Indian Ocean. And do you know the speed of the tsunami, people? The waves travel 640 to 960 km per hour. Can you swim in that? No. But some of the fake heroes of cinema, they are saying that they can swim in the tsunami. So don't follow the fake heroes, people. So speed of the tsunami is 640 to 960 km per hour. So what does tsunami mean? It's a huge ocean wave caused by earthquake or landslide or volcanic eruption which occurred under the ocean water, that is on the ocean surface. It is generally noticed by in the coastal region, and huge waves are originated. But at the beginning, do you know what will happen when the earthquake occurred under the ocean floor? One part of the ocean, the water recedes. Recedes means gone back. And even if you notice that the tsunami of Kanyakumari, at Kanyakumari, the ocean water receded behind that Thiruvalur statue, and till the Vivekananda rock there, the empty space, the floor of the ocean was exposed at that time. And later on only, once again the water comes up as the great waves. So in Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004, which happened, was a tragic event. That's because of the earthquake which happened in Indonesia and the island of Sumatra. It killed nearly 225,000 people across a dozen of countries including Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, Thailand, Somalia, Maldives. So very massive damage. Many of the children, they lost their parents. Some of the parents, they lost their children. Very, 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 very tragic event for children. So we cannot control that, but we can be aware of that and be alert. So look at some of the pictures given. So it shows the effects of tsunami to you. Children, do you think that the waste what we put on the earth surface daily, so much of waste we are discharging on the earth surface, that also affect the earth, and there some of the waste become a hazardous waste. Do you know that? What does the hazardous waste mean? It means which tend to cause adverse health effects on the ecosystem and also on the human beings. What is ecosystem, children? All the environment surrounding us, the plants, animals, and also the air, water, everything what is present around us are known by the name ecosystem. Some of the waste which are discharged by us and also by some of the industries, but some other sources, they they brought the harmful effects on the health of the people, and also it affects the ecosystem. They are known by the name hazardous waste. Some of the examples for the hazardous waste are radioactive substances. Nowadays we are using that nuclear power plants which are using the unused fuel pipes. So that is nuclear power plants, they are emitting that radioactive substances in the atmosphere, and chemicals, that is synthetic organics, inorganic metals, some of the acids and bases and flammables and explosives, that also considered to be the hazardous waste which will destroy our ecosystem. And medical waste, there's so much of needles, bandages, outdated dress nowadays, there so much of masks what we are wearing, we are not properly delivering that. That is, we are not properly putting it into the proper wastage system. Most of us are simply throw it on the streets or in the drainage system or in some of the open places. That will surely affect the environment. So we should be aware of that. And some other flammable waste, organic solvents, some of the oils, plastics, organic things, yes, that also affect the plants, and also some of the animals which are eating that flammable waste, that will affect the cattle life a lot. And some of the explosives, that's the industrial gases producing industries, there are a lot of possibilities for the explosives. Example, in Sivakasi, what is famous is Sivakasi is famous for? Yes, crackers. So that also the waste of that crackers industries which are very harmful to the environment. And also the household hazardous waste. From a day-to-day life, from our home, we are putting the pesticides, some of the oils, some of the automobile batteries and household usable plastic things which are disposing in the environment. That is a very dangerous one, and which also affect our ecosystem. It cannot affect the ecosystem immediately, but it's a slow process. Very slowly it affects the ecosystem, which is very harmful in future. And one of the incident we can say for the hazardous waste is the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, which was happened in Pripyat, which was happened in a place called Pripyat near that on 26th April 1986. The radiation emitted was more than 400 times that the released by atomic bomb dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In 1945, in the World War, Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan was affected by the bomb blast. But this Chernobyl nuclear accident happened on 26th April 1986 was 400 times more than that bomb blast in Hiroshima. Nearly 350,000 people were died in that, and many of the people are excavating from their places. Till even 33 years after this accident, the exclusion zone which covers the area now in Ukraine and Belarus is inhabited by numerous animals and more than 200 bat species. It's not possible for anyone to live in that region. In 2016, Ukraine part of the zone was declared as a radiological and environmental biosphere reserve by the government. That is, the government is taking a lot of effort to reconstruct that. They are bringing the rehabilitation of the place. But it is very hard for the government to bring it back. Children, it is easy to destroy anything, but it is not easy to build anything. So we should be aware in displacing the waste in the ecosystem. Let us see some pictures related to the hazardous waste. See children, how much of waste we are discharging on the earth's surface daily. You know, it will affect the earth's surface a lot and brought lot of health effects. It shows that in eating, drinking, breathing, touching, everything we have a lot of health effects. Next we are going to see about air pollution. What is air, children? Air is a mixture of several gases that you know that. What's the major gas present in the atmosphere? Nitrogen. Good. Do you know what's its percentage in the atmosphere? 78.09%. It is very useful for fertilizer of plants and also for making air inert, etc. And next air is our important one. What is that? Oxygen. Yes, 20.95%. It's important for breathing. And next one is carbon dioxide. It is present 0.03%. very important for photosynthesis process. And some other gases like argon, neon, helium, krypton, hydrogen, ozone, methane, etc. also present in the air in very small quantity, and also water vapor, dust particle also present in the air. Air is everywhere around us. Son. But what we are doing to that air? Are we are keeping the air fresh air? Are we disturbing the air in any way? Yes, surely. Every human being is doing their best to disturb the air. That is, we are contaminating air. How we are contaminating air? By emitting the smoke into the air. They are called as so many things which are harming the air, which are contaminating the air, which are making the natural characteristics of the air to modify. They are called as the pollutants, air pollutants. Primary pollutants and secondary pollutants are there. So what is air pollution? Air pollution is the contamination of the indoor and outdoor air by range of gases and solids that modify its natural characteristics and percentage. Every day-to-day life, so many things we have seen. All the industries, they are emitting the smoke. And even vehicles, all the two-wheelers, four-wheelers, three-wheelers and buses, even some other trains which are used in the previous days, they are emitting the gases into the atmosphere. That's why the ocean was polluted, and as the ocean polluted, what happened to us? Ultraviolet rays which are coming from the sunlight. Ozone layer only protecting us from the ultraviolet rays. But as there is a damage in the ozone layer, nowadays lot of people are having the skin problems, skin cancer, etc. because of this air pollution. So two types of objects which are polluting the air are called by the name pollutant. There are two types of pollutants are there. What are they? Primary pollutant and secondary pollutants. So primary pollutant is the one which are directly emitted directly affecting the air, and secondary pollutant is not directly emitted such as but forms with the other pollutants and reacts in the atmosphere. Some of the primary pollutants are sulfur, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of carbon. That's why we are asked to grow more trees, because they absorb the carbon dioxide. And secondary pollutants, ground level ozone and smog, they are also polluting they are mixing with some other substances and polluting the air. Therefore, they are called by the name secondary pollutants. So, the air is very important for us people, not only for us, for plants and all the living organisms. They need pure air. It will affect our lungs easily. We need a very good pure air. If a condition is going on like this, in future we have to pay and get the pure air. Like that, the condition may change. So, it is our important duty to avoid emitting or discharging the substances which are polluting the air. Recently, as you have celebrated Deepavali, you may fire a lot of crackers. Surely that is also leading to the air pollution, children. So it is one of our duty as every citizen of a country, and also one of the human being of the world, we have to protect the air from the pollution. For that purpose, very simple thing, grow more trees. Let us see some of the effects of air pollution in the given pictures. See, children, how much of air is mixed with the atmosphere. Smoke is immersed in the atmosphere and it destroys the atmosphere and ecosystem and affects the people also. It results in especially respiratory problems and asthma attacks. So it leads to, if most of children are affected by that, they cannot go to their school and do their work, and they have to visit the hospital admissions. And elderly people, if those who get asthma or some other respiratory problem, it leads to heart attacks and also it leads to death. So thousands and 10,000s and millions of people are affected because of this air pollution. So keep it in mind, we have to protect the air. And another important need for all of us is the water. Can you live without water? No, nobody can live without water. But nowadays, is it easy to get a pure water? No. By God's grace, we are getting rainfall. God is giving us pure water through rain, which are stored in underground level and also on a surface level. But what we people are doing, we are polluting them by discharging the our waste, lot of waste, solid waste, liquid waste, sewages and everything we are letting to flow into the ground surface water, and also we are damaging the underground water. So that leads to pollution of water. What is water pollution? Water pollution may be defined as alteration in the physical, chemical, biological characteristics of water that brought harmful effects to human and also aquatic life. Especially so much of microorganisms are living in the water. Their life also affected because of the pollution of water. Especially in India, water pollution has been taking place on a large scale for a long period of time. Both surface and underground water we are polluting to a great extent. So the main causes are urbanization. Because what is urbanization? Most of the village people, as they are not having proper job there, they are moving to urban. Urban means city side. And in a small place which is enough for 100 people to live, 1000 people are living in such areas. That leads to urbanization, and in very small place, congestedly people are living there. Best example, we can say that Mumbai. Mumbai, most of the places are crowded a lot, and people are letting their sewage and all the waste into the water sources. And another thing is from industrial effluents. In most of the industries, especially textile industries, chemical industries, they are discharging their waste into the water, and the sewages from our home, and improper agricultural product procedures. We are using some chemical fertilizers, and the sea water is also disturbed by our waste. Finally, all the river water enter into the sea, and some other solid waste, putting plastic bottles and something else. We are doing that. You people are doing a lot. So children, what we cannot live without water. So keep that in mind, and always protect water. That is very, very important. Okay. Can you live without water? Imagine that condition. So many, already I told you in the previous class, I told you that so many people in India itself suffered by water scarcity. They are going on for a long distance to get a small quantity of water, very little quantity of water. Daily they are going for a long distance. But God's grace, we are getting lot of water, but it is our important duty to protect the water for our thing, for our future. Be selfish in that. Protect the water. If you want to get a healthy life, water should be in a pure form. So let us see the pictures, children. It shows that how harmful effects we are bringing on the water surface. Look at this picture, children, how we are contaminating water just by throwing waste. See how much of waste are there, and letting the waste water, chemical waters into the water. Then from our home or some other textile industries remains are going into the water. So we have to stop it. And so far in this lesson we learned so many hazards, and what are the causes for that, how does it affect us, everything. Do you think that we have to prevent this hazards? Some of the natural hazards we couldn't stop, but we can prevent them. And human-made hazards can be easily prevent them, like air pollution, water pollution, flood. These are things which can be easily prevented. You may hear a proverb, prevention is better than cure. Yes. Before any disaster occur, before any damage occur, we must prevent that. So why there is a need for prevention? What are the prevention measures taken? So prevention is defined as the activities taken to prevent natural calamity or potential hazard from having harmful effects on either people or economic assets. Why we have to take prevention? Because the hazard, it may affect the people or also the economic assets, the properties, the natural wealth, which are all affected or known as the economic assets. Through that we can earn money. So prevention planning consists of two things: hazardous identification and vulnerability of assessment. That is, which are the areas prone to hazard, which are the tsunami prone area, which are the earthquake prone area. Like that it should be assessed, and the people should be properly instructed. And the previous hazard, when it occur, what is the vulnerability it made there? That is the damages. What's the depth of the damage? What's the value of the damage? That's called as the vulnerability assessment. The two things should be done, which are called as the prevention measures. So if you are delaying in the actions, it may increase the economic loss. Yes, children, if you delay in studying your homework, it results in the loss of mark. Like that, if any hazard is there, if you are delaying taking actions, it may result in many loss. So for developing countries like India, prevention is perhaps the most critical component in managing disaster, because most of the meteorological department and also the climatological department, they say that around 22,000 people have died in India in 2017 due to major environmental disasters. There was a report given by Indian Meteorology Department. And the past 2 decades mean in 20 years, over 5,000 people had died due to extreme weather event around the world. That was the information given by Global Climate Risk Index report. So everything can be prevented. So if you are having taken prevention measures, we can reduce the impact, we can reduce the vulnerability of the disaster. So let us always have the idea of prevention and always have the cooperation with the government. Okay, let us conclude this lesson, children. This lesson so far we learned what's a hazard, how the hazard lead to disaster or a catastrophe, and different types of hazards based on the occurrence and origin, and some examples related to each type of hazard. And in India, what are the major hazards like earthquake, flood, cyclonic storm, drought, landslide, tsunami, hazardous waste, pollution of air and pollution of water, etc. So all these hazards are making lot of harmful effects on our life, and we need to prevent, and we need to take lot of measures along with the government, and by ourselves we have to prevent ourselves from these disasters and from the harmful effects. And it is a duty of each and every citizen of a country and also a human being. It's a duty to protect our environment and be alert of these hazardous events. Children, observe the class well. Answer the questions which are asked in the homework page by yourself. Thank you, children. Bless you all in the name of Lord Almighty. Children, always be honest and also always be humble. God bless you all.